I mean, that's huge. I mean, because there
But they
are
don't know, you know,
I've seen rats there at the mall.
huh?
I've seen big rats there at the mall, and
Mm,
they will come in, and I mean that's one good reason to hold space for that.
mm.
Um, but yeah, that is, you do have to hold a lot of space for that, and that's why I want to hold space for you to have your dream and your vision. And I hope you didn't mind that I was suggesting that writing exercise of the 50 desires, what it would look like if you were only to fulfill your own concepts, your own longings.
Mm-hmm. Was I supposed to do that before the call?
No, that's just extra.
Okay. Because what I would like to do is kind of grab my, I don't know if I have it up here with me. My one, no, that's an old one. 100, my own, and then see where I am on some of them, and also like reevaluate where I am now.
So here's the thing. This is different than goals,
Okay.
because I'm noticing a lot of your goals are to support other people.
Yeah.
These are desires that are specific for Karen Hoffman. And
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that my goals tend to be products or services that can help people.
yeah, so I mean, it's okay to say, I want to feel successful in my business, or I want to be able to generate membership, or the things that are like, I desire, I want, I am looking forward to, and it's like I put, when I did this, I really had a hard time because I didn't realize how many people I was serving at the time, even though I thought I was not playing big at all. Like this, I did this right after like my wrist surgery. And so I thought, oh, I'm not even working. How could I have such a hard time with my own personal desires? And it's because like I felt, how could I take that much time to really consider what I want or what I need? And well, there was all kinds of things I was making up, like, oh, this feels selfish, or this feels wrong, I should be wishing things for other people. And I mean, it's just a list. And so I had to keep reminding myself, this is just an exercise, just to see if I can really even consider myself that much.
So you said I personally desire. What were some of the other trigger words you used?
Karen, I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to count to 50, and I'm just going to do it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So things like, I desire, I want, I need, I hope for, I deserve, I long for, I feel fulfilled when, I feel happy that. And only 3 can be for other people, or that serve other people. It's okay to long for a relationship to be stronger, but not necessarily that they get better at X, Y, or Z, or anything like that. And I pulled this exercise from Nancy Levin, who wrote the book Badass Boundaries. And another one is Jump and Your Life Will Appear. Yeah.
Jump and your life will appear. It reminds me, leap and the net will appear.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to do it. It might run us a few minutes longer, but that's okay.
Okay.
Because I know you probably won't make the time to do it.
Oh, no, I actually would.
Would you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I already did on it.
Okay. Well, if you promise to do it, I'll hold you to that. And then we can just go with one of them. right now, but why maybe just brainstorm a few.
Well, I've got one that I would like to use if we're going to take one.
Yes, and also I do want to encourage, like, so for the general public, it's that I really want to encourage people to choose um, putting their focus on how they can move the needle, but not for you. You
I'm
already
moving the needle every day.
you do.
I
So
do.
for you,
That's how I wake up.
for you, I really hope that you see this session as a gift to yourself, that this is something that you can use me to help propel you in an area of your life that doesn't already have a lot of momentum, and something that feels that just need a little extra push. And you know how coaches will offer like those different life areas or
Mhm.
wells or buckets or gardens or how whatever the metaphor is that feels that resonates with you. I know already you can kind of see an area that just needs a little extra attention, and perhaps one that um, might have a little bit of fogginess as to how to get there, but that it's the vision of that there's attention needed there might present itself. Do you already have one in mind?
I did. I've got, I'm actually writing some right now, but the one that resonated as one, and if you want me to pick another one, I can, but I deserve financial abundance, and then I put 100,000 plus. Would that be an okay one to do, or is there something else you would rather me focus on?
Well, I'm giggling because this is your time. This is the gift to your soul, to your spirit.
Can you also phrase them in like almost an affirmation, and like I love weighing a certain weight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we are what I don't know if you got to see the like example of like 10 or so different collages that I've done for people. All the affirmation slash mantra that they come up with is very unique to them. It's all co-created. So what I'll do is just leave you to dream. And you know what? As I start asking provoking questions, it may shift, but let's start with the abundance and see what that.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily love I deserve financial abundance, but I don't want to say I want. I don't want to say I hope for. I don't want to say I need. I wanted it to be more affirmative than whatever.
So here's another way to tell if this is the right vision for now. What is something that you see as a great possibility of happening in the next 6 months, but from here to there seems very cloudy? So if you were going to even say 100,000 plus, what might be a benchmark that could happen in 6 months from now? Maybe working on the way toward that even bigger vision. But even still,
the first thing that pops up for me for financial abundance is to take the Joy of Goals workshop, and the needle is moving, but very slowly because I don't give it attention. I give it like the universe gives it attention. The universe is awesome at giving attention to Joy of Goals. But like I would like to have like a set weekly, I mean, right now I only have a check-in call once a week with Michelle Perry about Joy of Goals. But it doesn't mean that the universe isn't bringing other people during the week. Do you know what I mean? So the needle moves almost in spite of me. but I would like it to be an intentional, you know, a block of time where I'm literally moving that needle. Now, as I say that, I'm also, I think I've told you that we're doing a publication, Be the Change St. Louis. Do you know about that?
Yeah.
And so, you know, like I could start writing down, like if I think of abundance for me, I see it coming primarily from products that I already have, the intellectual property that I already have, that I don't have to go out. I don't have to write any books. I've got two of them. Actually, I've got more, but I've got two that I can use. Both of them have the opportunity to have coursework. Have the Joy of Goals, which is its own entity.
Right.
And then this new publication. But right now, if I want to focus on financial abundance, to me, it seems like take the low-hanging fruit that is already there. Take the collaboration book, take the barter book, take the Joy of Goals. You have those already ready. They just need, each one of them needs when you say cloudy, I don't feel cloudy, but I feel more that I'm not writing the steps down because I'm busy. I see all the steps, I see it done, but it's allowing myself the time to work on them to make them happen. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, so let's just look at that signpost for a minute. We're not going to hang out there too long, but I just want to ask, the signpost being the block, like what, so you mentioned one thing, like what has come in the way of that having already happened, and you were saying that the commitment to the time block. Can you think of anything else that might have been in the way of that?
Do you mind if I go get my puppy?
Not at all.
He's got a leg injury, hip injury right now. Hey, you want to come up here, Marty? Stay here. Stay here. I'll let you in. Hey, Gavin. Are you gonna let him? My apologies. He came all the way up the steps, which hurts his hip, and then he decided to go back down. So I wanted to hold him because he hurts. So go ahead with what you were saying. What are my time? What's the block from me taking the time? I would say a lot of it has to do with what's going on in my personal life. And then also I undertook an incredible, I'm going to say project in clearing clutter from our home, which resulted in so many areas being so freaking amazing, like, you know, so organized and clean. But my personal office and the garage are big tackles for me. And I've just started my personal office. I have, if I said how many I actually have boxes to go through just in my personal office, it's probably about 25 boxes to go through. And going through each one, when I'm done with it, is just incredible. And it feels like part of what emotionally and energetically has held me back is clutter. So, so I would say the personal stuff and then the clutter. But I'm also making my way through, and we've, like I have a walk-in, like I have a walk-in pantry. I may have mentioned that before. That's just amazing. Well, when we built my office, we added a walk-in office pantry, kind of. So my file cabinets can be in there out of sight. and it ended up becoming another junk room. So I'm in the process now of taking everything out of all the files. And I'm saying it feels awesome, but it's also really time consuming.
So what I'm hearing is that the clutter clearing is actually the linchpin for all the other things.
I believe.
So maybe right now is just looking at, so the sign, sometimes when the signpost pops up, it's actually demonstrating that it needs a little bit greater priority, either the antidote to it.
So you're making, I'm not sure if I'm on the same page, but here's what's going through my mind is,
Yeah.
I might have two intentions or goals or whatever right now. One being the joy of goals, but the other that's as important, maybe even gets more time, is that organizing, because it is such a release of positive energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have that. I had my house as beautiful, clean, and organized, but I didn't have a specific. My office is amazing, organized and productive. And productive isn't the right word I want, but it'll work for right now. And productive place to create. So, okay, so next. I submit to the next step.
So when your office is amazingly organized, efficient, and a creative place to work, is efficient the right word?
I'm going to put efficient. I said productive, but I like efficient. I'm a Capricorn. I like efficient.
Okay. When it has happened, what does that feel like to you?
Nirvana. like heaven on earth. That I am by sun sign a Capricorn, and Capricorns crave organization. So it's like a heart soul thing for me is to be organized. It feels so congruent with my brain when I'm organized.
And what?
Do I need to make notes or should I just listen?
You can listen because I'm taking notes for you.
Okay.
And not only that, I'm going to be, after our call today, I'm making you that mantra card. So you're going to have that vision in imagery and your mantra right in the middle. But don't make your mantra yet because we're still working on it.
We're evolving it. We're uncovering.
It's evolving. So what I'd like for you to imagine is that we're talking to Karen from a year to who is a year from now. And she's talking to the Karen now. And she wants to know, and this has already happened. The office is immaculate and efficient and fun and creative and tidy and everything that your heart's desired for it. Wait, before we ask the Karen of the future question, is there anything in the way of this currently happening, or do you already feel there is quite a lot of you are just so
the momentum feels like it's there. The only thing that could possibly disturb it is if I would end up leaving the house.
Mm-hmm. And that happens often. That happens often.
No, I mean if I would move. But I'm not planning on that. My intention is that everything works out. So I feel like I really have momentum. It feels amazing. I mean, I don't know that I shared, but along with this process, what I wanted to do is I wanted to create for each one of my 3 children and my grandchildren. Did I tell you this, what I'm doing about? So I bought these amazingly, these chests. I found them on Facebook Marketplace. But like one of them years ago, I had seen at a furniture store where it is the mementos of your life. And it's a wooden box and it's got a journal. and I wanted to buy them for my kids. And at the time, back in the 70s or 80s, they were about $250 a piece. And I just hit them on my wish list. And on Facebook Marketplace, I saw one. And I bought it for like $50. And when I got it, I realized I didn't need that. I just needed a pretty decorative trunk or box.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought 3 or 4 more, and 1 for me and 3 for my kids, I think. And then with grandkids, I have these memento boxes. And so with all this clutter stuff I have pictures, I have baby clothes, I have report cards. And so while I'm going through my business stuff and my personal stuff, I'm creating these boxes that I will then go through and put in these trunks that will be a Christmas present for my kids this year. That they will get their childhood mementos, not in a cardboard box, but in a decorative box that they can do whatever if they want to get rid of it, great. But if they don't, they want to put other things in it. And so that's like, my heart feels really full that while I'm decluttering, I'm also creating a memory boxes for my family.
That's beautiful.
I'm so excited about it.
What a legacy.
Mm-hmm. And at a certain point, I want to start using technology to share what I do for other people. You know, like, okay, moms, you know, you bring in all this stuff for the kids. Well, start a box now. And when they move out, they get this, you know?
Mm.
But for me right now, as I go through all of this, and I haven't been willing, like I hold on to every piece of paper, like my water bills from, 20 years ago, and I don't need them. But there's a part of me that doesn't want to get rid of it. And then it's what I want to do is I want to go and maybe save 1 a year. I don't know why I even want it, but I don't know why. But I want to like let go as much as I can of every piece of paper.
Yes. I know you don't want to put a lot of attention on this, but just because I'm your friend and I love you, I just want to ask. You have me. You have my 100% support, and I'm creating an aroma for you that not only is going to smell like your future, like this particular vision that you have, it is also going to serve as something that's going to remind you when your attention moves elsewhere. It's going to remind you back on your focus. So if there's something that could only, as humans, we really can only have one major priority in the priority spot at one time. And so, I mean, you as a person always have like several projects going, and you serve so many people. And I know that like this past weekend, you really had to do a lot of soul seeking into really looking at what is going to provide your greatest sense of peace and self-worth, and that ability to give all that you have. And I suspect it's filling your own well. So I guess I'm kind of answering for you, which is a problem of knowing my client well. But
Also a gift in knowing your client well, a curse and a blessing.
A curse and a blessing. But I wonder, so now my question is, I wonder if, because you said you already do have momentum on this project.
I do. It feels awesome.
So I don't really feel like what I want to assist you with is something that's even of a greater need, but there's a little
financial, the abundance. For me to be able to say, I can buy the house and stay here.
So that I see now. That will provide you the courage. I'm putting words in your mouth. Let me.
No, it might be, hello, baby girl. One of my granddaughters has spent the night. So, with her cousin. So, I think I mentioned that Pookie reframed me being a mercenary to this is my dream, right? I shared that with you. That was really an important distinction because I am not a mercenary by nature person. And for her to reframe it as it's your dream. This house has been my dream. And I am this close to having my dream after 20 years of living here. It's coming together and then I'm faced with stay or go. The finances means that I can make a different choice. Maybe I do leave, but I leave and take what I want and I can recreate. Like one of my daughters was saying, you could create something beautiful somewhere else if you know, but as it stands right now, I would leave and be kind of a pauper as opposed to abundant. So I was doing, when this started getting bad in the fall, I was looking at going into these senior houses that are like, 400 or 500 square feet. And one of my girlfriends that lives in another state was like, you're the dreamer. Don't make your dream so little. And I was like, oh, well, I was just dreaming of getting out of the crap, right? And I don't have to have a dream like that. If I harnessed what I believe are my assets, harness them, leverage them, it could be abundant. And this is a little crazy, but in the 80s, I had met a woman, she actually became a very close friend, who told me that she saw wealth in my astrology chart. But it was later in life. I'm almost 70. How much later does it have to be? So I literally wrote to Dell magazine. Do you know they have an astrology magazine, Dell? Well, anyway, but this woman that wrote back said, I have a chart of a wealthy person, so it should be happening. And I haven't read it in a while, but the last part, I can't predict that you will win the lottery or possess wealth and riches in your later years, but you definitely have what you need in order to feel abundant on all levels. Again, I haven't read this in probably a year or so.
I suspect that the abundance is not because of lack of effort.
No, it's not. I work really hard.
What if we could dream the antidote? What would it be that would, like David carving the Pieta out of the marble? Like, let's release the abundance instead of make the abundance.
So I think part of what's happened for me, and especially in the last year or so, are the people attracted to projects that I'm involved in. So you heard Jenny Grace today, all excited about the possibility of taking Joy of Goals in a direction. I believe my antidote is collaboration with other people. I believe that, like Michelle Perry, she has showed up to be the coach for Joy of Goals, that it doesn't get to sit around till October, that we keep it alive all year, right? I believe that, this friend of mine, Sharon Wingrun, she's been in my life for years, but this year we're talking about her using and being part of Joy of Goals as a train-the-trainer. That's her background. She's with the American Society of Training and Development, our talent management. She's like one of their big speakers. She's like brilliant, and she wants to play in this arena with me. So I believe the antidote for everything that I do is collaboration partners, that there's win-wins for everyone. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And how does that look different than what you're currently doing?
I think the difference is that while they are at my door, I don't open it all the way because I'm not taking the time to schedule the work that I need to do when I'm not, like on a Monday when I talk with Michelle, then that week gets full and I don't get to move the needle in a way that's significant. The needle keeps moving in spite of me is what I keep feeling like. It's like, oh, well, God showed this up again, you know, like, or here's another piece of the puzzle that God provided. But I'm not saying on Wednesdays, when what I like is time mapping and time, you know, time management is that I will work on this at this time every week. It's my commitment to my abundance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that. I do, okay, I got to get this done and I'm using a to-do list instead of a project plan, work on, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have two thoughts before they scoot away. These are, I'm kind of taking a slight detour, but I want to say it so badly. One is, I wonder what it might be like if for every meeting you have a block, an hour block that is already an automatic that you block out after every meeting to do the follow-ups right then and there. So
I would say half an hour would be the perfect number for me. An hour doesn't resonate, but a half an hour after every meeting to do the follow-up sounds perfect.
yeah, and then it's just like a committed time frame. So for
You know,
every
like
meeting,
after YCB, there's 30 minutes to do the follow-up from that meeting. After Joy of Goals, it's, yeah, I like that idea of scheduling that.
and then the second thing I had was, you used the phrase, "This is my commitment to my abundance." I think there's a word that would mean the same thing, but it's actually much more targeted and much more provocative for you listening your passion for it. I suspect there's, I mean, we don't need to unpack it again because these are just the roadblock signs and we don't want to stand in front of it. Who put that sign there? Why is it there? How long has it been there? But it's just like, what's going to send you into momentum the quickest, the fastest? So when talking about abundance, I almost wonder if the word freedom, this is my ticket to freedom. This is my ticket to, or my ticket to independence, or my ticket to peace.
Amy just used the word freedom with me too, and I'm wondering, is that a coincidence? Is this, you know, a God thing that I need to go ahead and embrace freedom as a word that isn't a normal word for me to be using?
Well, let's look at the contrast. Do you feel trapped?
Financially, I do. Not equal because of the financial lack. Certainly not. In fact, one of the things that came out with Amy was a partnership. I don't have a partnership. It is a hierarchy. And it's so interesting because when I want to spend money, like if I wanted to spend money to paint up here, it would be a no, because in his words, he can do that, or I could do that. We don't need to pay someone to do it. Well, I don't want to paint. I'm not a good painter. And he doesn't want to do it. And so then I'm pulling, now that other woman's house, he wants to work on, which is like a dagger to my heart, right? In fact, I've decided in my mind, it's making love to her home. More, but, and then it's like my house is the stepchild.
Mm-hmm.
So with money comes the freedom to say, I ain't in the upstairs, you know, and financial freedom. And so I'm realizing for me how many roadblocks I have in the marriage for things that I want. You know, like he just told my son he'd go in on a go-kart for the grandkids, a few $100s, but I can't paint the upstairs for a few hundred. There's no equal, we're not partners.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean he doesn't love me, but he doesn't know how to partner, and I don't know how to achieve partnership yet with him. So yeah, let's use the word freedom, because that word is probably not one that I would have picked. But again, when Amy brought it up and you bring it up, I'm wondering if it's a word I'm supposed to use.
I feel that
Financial.
like, well, just as a friend, I've been in that situation of feeling a lack of equality of my contribution in partnerships many times. And like even with my current, my current boyfriend, it's like that. And, to say that, and that's what we're in negotiations for right now is like, okay, when we live together, I don't want to feel like this again, because
Right.
that's why it didn't work out when we tried to live together the first time, because, again, there was so much that had to be done. And he was like, I don't have time to do it. I could do it, but I don't have time. And I physically couldn't do it. And he's like, you don't have the money. And I really don't want you to, if you spend the money to do it, then you're showing me you can't live within the means that we budgeted, and then I lose trust. So I felt stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I
And your wants aren't valued. Like my wants are not valued. Your wants aren't valued. His wants are valued. I value him getting what he wants.
yeah. And so what word resonates the most? I am free, I am valued, I am empowered, I am equal.
Out of those, none of them resonate.
None of them resonate.
Throw me out some more.
Yes. So
Now, I'm going to come back to freedom. I have emotional freedom. I have personal freedom. I have financial freedom. That word is starting to really feel right.
okay.
In a way that I never have processed it.
So I think that before, okay, we're gonna move into a visualization right now.
Okay.
Before I do this, I haven't really done visualizations with you before, and I wonder, some people just are not like,
They're not wired for it.
When people do guided meditations or visualizations, does your mind wander a lot, or do you
It just
really?
depends. It just depends on who's doing it and what they're doing. Sometimes I wander and sometimes I'm so on it, focused.
Okay. The reason I want to do this is I want to talk to the Karen of the future and see what she knows. And she will shed some wisdom on this moment. And so
Okay.
let's just take a deep breath and
I close my eyes.
yes, yes. And just kind of find your balance in the chair. So you don't feel like you're leaning to one side or another, but you just feel real centered. Your feet feel solid on the floor.
Okay, I apologize, but I thought of something I had to write down because if I forget it, it's about taking care of my body, my chiropractor. And so I had to write that down because as soon as I started feeling my body, I could feel the pain. I don't feel my body often, like I'm so busy. So this is like, okay, you can feel it. You need to get back with Dan. All right, so now I'm ready.
Okay, so this is a deep and profound listening, and we'll see who is speaking the loudest, and maybe it is the body, and that's okay. Maybe it's the dogs or maybe the door, and there's many distractions, and all of them are welcome and okay. Because as we go into this space, there's going to be a moment where a distraction will come up and we just accept it as it is, but then move back to what we're focusing on. So as we take in a deep breath, pull your shoulders up to your ears for a moment, and then just really breathe it down, pushing your shoulders as low on your collarbone as they can go. And now with the next breath, put your attention on your tummy. And as you breathe in, see and notice your belly expanding out. And as you breathe out, pull your belly button into your spine. It almost doesn't make sense, but just pull it all the way back. And then you will feel that next breath, you almost feel as if your body is breathing you. And the breath is no effort at all. And now we'll start through the bigger breath again, pulling your shoulders up to your ears. And breathe a big sigh of relief, knowing there's nowhere else you need to do, go, be, except allow this moment to be all there is. Allow this moment to be your gift. See that you are so worthy of receiving all the abundance that the world has to offer you. In fact, it has already given it to you. Time and space are just catching up with the action that already occurred. And through each breath, as you release, as you exhale, feel within your body, somewhere within, along the spine, at any point, whether it's the base of your spine or near your heart or near your throat or near your eye or near the top of your head, imagine seeing things being cleared, like boxes of papers being blown away by a leaf blower, just completely pushed away. With each exhale, and in that clarity, you see abundance. It's already there, just being revealed, sitting right in front of you. And your soul is asking, why are you choosing not to pull your hands out and take what I have offered? And sit in this space for a moment and see the answers that come to you.
I already had one come up.
Well, just hold on to it. Let
Okay.
another. There's no wrong, right, or one. There could be many. Keep allowing. Allow that abundance to be revealed. Your freedom, your worthiness, your equality, your dreams, your mattering, your power, your value. This is your life and your moment, and you're here to live it. For Karen, because you have taken on a great responsibility of tending to the dreams of others, and your ability to really allow Karen's dream to be achieved is to actually give twice the dream you have given to others. Because no one feels more elated than seeing someone they love truly happy. The joy that you get from giving to others, allow others the ability to experience that great emotion. By allowing the abundance to come into you now, it's offering everyone you collaborate with a great gift. And sit compiling in this moment. Allow the imagery to come into you. 6 months from now, it has already happened. The thing, experience, environment, situation that you need the most has happened. Describe, just in your mind's eye, and we'll talk about it in a minute, describe in your mind's eye where you are. Describe what you see around you. What are the textures? What are the smells? What is the vibe? How do you feel in this space? What action word is happening in this very moment? Just a 5-minute little glimmer of that with your moment. Describe what you're hearing. And describe a flavor or a taste of something or a beverage that you've had around that time. And just sit basking in the satisfaction that you arrived. Nirvana. Be in it and see it fully. And feeling so much gratitude to the Karen of the future for the wisdom to have shared with the Karen of this moment and what she already knows to allow this moment to occur. And when you feel ready, come back to this space, and I'd love to hear what kinds of visions came up for you.
So, yeah, part of me wishes I would have taken notes. Came up and now they're gone.
It's okay, I recorded this.
Yeah. Kind of want to go back and feel what I was feeling because
Let's do it. Okay. So just
the very first part, it was really clear, very, very beginning, whatever you were saying in the very beginning.
So
after we had already settled into.
We are looking at the spine, and there's a little bit of paper and clutter, like kind of right on that power line. And we're just gonna blow, exhale those papers away. Inhale clarity. Exhale space, revealing the abundance already there. The wisdom of your abundance, your freedom, your value and your worth are already given, and it's already occurred. The acceptance is the ticket to time and space catching up. Not triggering anything?
Just that feeling that that a lot is going to be birthed. That's actually, birthing is not the right word, but is going to grow from. I was first thinking more like a child, but I'm going to think more like plants. Like all these seeds that have been planted are now ready to not just be seedlings, but to be fully developed, abundant and I'm planting gardens outside with flowers right now. I'm not, but someone's helping me do it. And I kind of see like Joy of Goals is just going to multiply in and and with little effort. I think that's one of the things. It's like it needs the nurturing. It needs my watering and my vision, but it doesn't need me necessarily for my time.
Mhm.
And so it feels like an abundance of opportunities. Like I was kind of limiting myself to Joy of Goals, but it's like, no, there's roses here. Maybe that's Joy of Goals. And then there's, you know, daylilies here. And maybe that's contacts, connections, and collaboration. And then there's, you know, bluebells here. And maybe that's the bartering or something. But it's like the garden has all these things that have already been planted, have already grown. They're not seedlings. They're already in existence.
Just harvesting.
Actually, that feels like a really good word. Like they're right now, they're right before the harvest. They're just needing just a little bit of love, and it's like you can talk to plants to help them grow. They just need that love and talking to for that next burst.
Emergence?
No,
Emergent?
they're already emergent. So just before the harvest, this is just that time that they need just a little bit of love and
Ripening?
More, that sounds more like fruits, but the flowers are almost in full bloom. They're just not quite there. Maybe a little bit more fertilizer and a little, but they're so close. And they've been deprived. You know, they've been deprived of my attention, which is like sun for them. But they didn't wither. They continued. They had strong roots. So they're strong plants. But it wants more nurturing from me and the other people that are part of the collaboration to get to the harvest.
So there's a pre-peak moment that is requesting the ability to thrive just a bit further. And when we did the visualization, were you able to see an actual environment or hear words about?
In the very beginning, I heard words, but then I didn't. I was more in the listening than the responding. So no.
And so when you look at that future space, say 6 months from now, is it is it wanting to reveal its clarity yet, or is it not quite there?
No, it's ready now. It doesn't take 6 months.
So what is that information that you were able to extract from that vision?
I feel like it's kind of like, I think what we started with, that they want these entities, these products, these plants, they require a little bit more of me to be that next level. And that is me investing time, like me shining the light on them. That next, you know, they have sometimes been in darkness, but they still, their roots were so strong, they didn't shrivel. They just stayed the same, waiting for the love and attention, and they still were able to grow because, and I believe this to be true, God keeps nurturing them in spite of me. You know, when I'm full of all these other things I'm working on, God doesn't say they're going to wither. God is like, you know, these are valuable programs for the universe. And so they're in a holding pattern and they're not going anywhere. And I'm going to keep bringing the people to you to keep them in front of you. And you know, like Tracy Miller, she is interested in contacts, connections, and collaboration. Like, I want to turn it into an online course for rainmakers, for attorneys and accountants, and for everyday people. But for Tracy, that could be her way of making money. She loves being a connector. I don't, I'm almost 70. I don't need to be the one out there. She loves to be the one out there. I'd love to be a piece of it. I'd love to be, like I'm on the call, but let someone else be right there with me and let them be blooming and building the relationships. We take the intellectual capital, turn it into the coursework, and we're, I just feel like I'm this close to so much thing. God didn't make me like a one-track person. He made me with all these different, they kind of all go together in that it's collaboration and it's people coming together, but they're different. Like Joy of Goals is different than Context and but they're all still rooted in relationships and supporting one another.
And when you're looking at this from a place of allowing and just clearing away,
clearing space, I feel like, and that's a physical clearing space, like the space of organization, and it's physical and it's time space. That's what it's, the clearing of space, physical and time.
So we're almost right at the very little, like the mantra is just about emerging. But I feel before that the lowest hanging fruit, the simple, small step, the very first micro movements toward that vision of financial freedom would be, if you were to summarize it into three micro movements that you can see happening in the next month, what would they be?
I don't know that I'm going to say this correctly, but taking Joy of Goals online immediately. Like, doesn't have to wait till January where I normally do it. We could be doing it now. And I also see that it gets gifted. There's also another dream program that there's two. There's Joy of Goals, which is a full program, and then I have like a mini program. But for those to go ahead and be turned into, and they don't have to be, like, the thing that I like about myself is they don't have to be perfect. We do one and we learn, and then we do it better, and we do the next one and we learn. So like I could see, launching Joy of Goals, a workshop in July to get it started, discounting it, or discounting the beta online version, and then making it better, doing a Zoom workshop. And I don't even know what I'm talking about. So I know that I know, but I also know that I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just because you're just downloading the greater wisdom that you already know, and you're just letting it be said.
Yeah, and it's not like I have to write the curriculum. It's done. It's not like I have to write our steps. They're done. It's not like we have to do the workbook. It's done. It's breaking it down and then just doing it. It's just taking the action to actually put it into a new physical space and product.
Mm-hmm.
Now with that, something just popped into my head.
Mm-hmm.
It's about branding me, and it's been this thing that's been coming back to me. In 2007, the St. Louis Magazine did a story on me, and I don't know if you ever saw it, but it was huge. It was 3 pages, and they had a big picture, like a full page picture of me with a light bulb over my head. And the story started with one of my friends who's a business reporter wanting to write about me as the idea coach.
Yeah.
And about all my ideas. And so she interviewed me, and she would ask me questions, and I couldn't come up with any ideas. And I started like crying. I said, "You're not supposed to do the story. I can't think of any ideas." So she would ask me like simple stuff. And I went to bed that night, and this was like big deal to be interviewed for St. Louis Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I went to bed that night, and when I woke up the next morning, between my bed and the bathroom, I heard, it's not about the ideas, it's about the possibilities.
Mm.
A different thing. Being an ideator is different than holding space for possibilities. And so, and really, she was frustrated. She's, she was a writer. She's written, and she said, in all my writing, I've never had a block like this with Sublime. And I don't remember now exactly how it came out, but when I called her to tell her what I got about possibilities, she had a similar thing happen with her. So from ideas to possibilities. And so in the article, they called me the queen of possibilities instead of, the great ideator. And I feel like that is my gift for the planet, is the way that my mind can see possibilities. Now, I like another word in front of it, positive possibilities. But as we're working on these programs and projects, for me to go ahead and brand myself as the queen of possibilities or something like that, it feels like I need to go ahead and be in that lane. And then I don't know if you know Lethea Owens. You heard her name today.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know her? Do you know who she is? She's an incredibly brilliant marketing person that when I met her, she was working at State Farm. She's a Black woman on the fast path because of her brilliance and she's just, like, I would say, how does your brain fit in that head? It's just brilliant. And I helped launch her. I helped put her in front of people. She now speaks all over the country, Dubai, and she used to, in the very beginning, tell stories about me when she would speak about how one woman, helped promote her. And so she has always promised me my own website, my own branding website. And we've gotten so far with it, but again, it's kind of like Joy of Goals. It would stop. I would get a stuck feeling and I wouldn't move forward. And it feels like that's supposed to be happening too, giving her, it doesn't have to be this big deal. Just whatever information she needs to have that presence there so that these products go under that, as well as Gateway, that we're branding me, the person, as well as Gateway, the organization.
Just like Dr. Marty.
Yeah.
Because she's the brand behind
Ungone and anything else she does.
And in order, and what I saw, this weekend was that in order for Ungone to be successful, she has to be pure as she promotes the brand. She can't be, I see, that's why I said you don't want to come on to the call with the panel because it dilutes that brand. And what I'm hearing are the baby steps is cash in on Alethea's offer and take Joy of Goals online, or maybe one step before that, make space for putting Joy of Goals online.
I think we got to make space.
Like a time space. And then the last one, maybe just clearing, that continuing to clear.
Rather than clear, I think it's almost, because clear feels empty, but to book my own time, to take and fill in a time slot with, this is Joy of Goals.
How does the word claim feel? Claim your time.
Claim? That feels okay.
Do you like book your time better?
No, I like claim better. I didn't have a comparison. I didn't know where you were going with claim, but to claim the space, claim the time, claim the
value.
The what?
Your value.
And not be available for, claim it for, and for me, instead of saying it's for me, it actually resonates more to say claiming that time or space for something bigger, because I know that if 10 people go through Joy of Goals, there will be many of them that will have something life-changing happen. I can't say it's going to happen to all 10, but I know from experience now that people's lives change. They change when they spend the time working on their dreams and goals, when they come into a community of collaboration. I know that to be facts now. Whereas before it was like, well, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just downloaded this stuff and I do it. And then people come back and tell me all this good stuff, which along with that, and is to use, and you and I've talked about this, is to use Zoom to start doing interviews with people. And for me to have my own authentic testimonial marketing by, you know, Marty Casey sharing her Joy of Goals story, that would be tremendous. You know, the different people that will share different stories of my helping them. Nancy Erickson, do you know her? Did I ask you about her before? She's the book professor.
Oh yeah, I met her. She's adorable.
She's adorable. When I worked with her, she was in the middle of a horrible life crisis, was pretty broken, and I just held space. But one of the things I came up with for her was her name, the book professor. Say, you know, you did that, Karen. And I've got some, you know, and that's the other thing. When I'm clearing out all of this, I will have cards, like I have more than a box of people writing notes to me. And then I have testimonials, you know, like, and compiling them all together and going through them and using them where and when. Is it a gateway thing? Is it a Joy of Goals thing? Is it a Karen Queen of Possibility? Like, I feel like that's kind of like this behind me, the credibility, you know, the award, right? Testimonials create.
So I think what I'm hearing you say is that, well, first of all, you already came up with your mantra. Here's what I heard.
Okay.
Claiming space for something bigger. I am claiming space for something bigger.
I do love that.
It just flowed out of you.
I have claimed space.
Even better. I have claimed for something bigger. And there was one other thing. My mind just lost it. There's a longing to gather the testimonials and words, and because I get you. I that is not about ego. I think it's about
I feel like it's about credibility.
It's about credibility and affirming the brand so that your authorship of these programs launches their worth.
I feel like when you have third-party, real, authentic testimonials, that the products don't have to be sold, that the people become part of it. They want that whatever somebody else got, and it doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel like ego. It does feel like, but it does also feel like it's a confidence builder for me, because there is a lack of, you know, for some of these things, and for so long, I have been incredulous when, you know, like I will say probably for the first maybe 50 people, it was like, really? It does all of that? You know, it's like, but all we did was X, what comes so easy to me. And it goes back to that thing about you're supposed to charge the most for what comes the easiest to you, but
right.
It's so easy for me. How could I charge 1,000, you know?
Right.
So by having testimonials, I feel like the other people who have experienced something life-changing or, you know, important to them, sell the product or the process, not necessarily me. Some of them might sell me, like a Nancy Erickson, that is more of me one-on-one, but these other things are products.
And I can show you how to use Zoom so that we can, like, at least knowing myself, the only reason I don't give testimonials is I just, uh, the efforting just kind of is too much for my head to grasp. And if someone were to call me, what?
For you or for other people?
I can just speak from my own experience.
No, but you said I don't do testimonials for other people, or for you don't get testimonials for you, or you don't give testimonials. You said, I don't know what, when you were just saying
I
that.
don't give them as often as I'd like to, because I just either the time or I lack making the commitment to do it. But if someone were to, like, the person who offered the service were to call me or just say, hey, can we set up the time for your testimonial? And I would just be, yeah, let's do it right now, because
And my thing is how do I help you do a testimonial that is authentic and resonates? So like we literally came up with a template at one.
good.
I'd have to find it, but that's what I'd like to do, is use something like that to help people. And the thing that I want to do is I want to be the one on the other side saying, Nancy, yeah, you're the book professor. And maybe I helped you with that, but that's who you are. And here's the people you know, like I turn it into a testimonial for them.
Mm.
We're both getting to claim that which we do well.
Mm. So
I'm still playing with for something bigger. So I'm loving, I have claimed space for, and something bigger can work, but it feels like kind of
you already know. I
like
think you already know what it is,
claim space
because something bigger is a bit too vague, but you know what it is.
for the change the world needs. I have claimed space for the change the world needs. I have claimed space for, I have claimed space to be the change. That sounds too grandiose. I have claimed space for creating and manifesting.
What if it were redirected back to seeing your abundance and freedom as a gift?
I have, so say that again. I have claimed space for freedom and abundance.
Oh no, this isn't already worded yet, but I'm just throwing out words. That when
But I like what, I feel like I have claimed space for freedom and abundance feels better to me than something bigger.
yeah, let's just do that. I've claimed space for freedom and abundance.
That really feels, now there's this little part of me, that starts going, well, what about the world and the people you want to serve?
Oh, well, okay. Maybe so. I'm going to send you this recording, and you can re-listen to the meditation, because it's time to allow other people to feel the gift that you get when you give to others. All you need to do is step into your abundance and freedom. And that's how you're the gift. That's how you give.
Actually, I'm getting the feeling in the body of, if I don't claim that space, then I am not fulfilling my purpose here. That if I don't claim it.
I saw that too. And that's why I felt that when you're coming from a place of success, it's a double gift to the people you've given to.
There's a woman named Karen Irwin. I don't know if you know her, a Mary Kay person. And about 5 years ago, she told me, when you, I don't think she used the word claim, but I feel like saying it. When you claim your freedom and abundance, you will be a model for us. That when others see you, with the success. She says, you already have success in so many ways, but not financially, that that I could, she just felt like I had a purpose, and that I needed to work on doing that for other people, that I really needed, not for me, but for others to show.
Yeah. So I am going to put this into a collage of some of these imagery, the imagery, the metaphors that you've spoken of, just maybe some images that came to my mind, if I can match them to what I find in, in the stock photos. And, or even if you have a photo that you want to text me that represents what some of this looks like to you. But what I would love for you to do is, before we meet for the second part, which is to link this to a scent memory.
Oh, there's a two-piece puzzle here?
No, it's 3.
Oh, okay. We're on part 1.
Yes. So it's a 3-part coaching. So the next part is we link this affirmation and vision to a scent memory or a sensory memory, and that way it can override any sabotaging possibilities that might come up, because that scent or scent memory.
Do you remember us talking about that one perfume that I loved?
Yes.
Did I send you the link on it?
You told me what the name was.
Well, it's no longer made, but there's a company that will make it. What do they call it? Raffinée.
Well,
but I'm wondering, would anything that I have had no, and I was in my early 30s or late 20s when I fell in it. Is that different than this?
just don't be attached to that aroma. And the reason why is because this may not necessarily be like the ooh, the ah, sensual, loving, that's my identity kind of aroma. This aroma, is specifically to be associated with this particular vision of you claiming that space.
I just changed it a little bit more, and I haven't said it out loud, so I don't know if it's supposed to be changed, but I go back to the other one. My purpose and my passion have claimed space for freedom and abundance. Or is it stronger? I have claimed space. Maybe I need to just own me.
Yeah.
I have claimed space for my freedom and abundance, for my freedom and my abundance, or just freedom and abundance. I have claimed space for my freedom.
How about my freedom and abundance? Because when you told me that you wanted to call it my purpose and vision have claimed, I'm thinking that sounds way too third party to me. So there's a longing in there to. These are your flowers, and they want your attention.
Right, they do.
Yeah.
They love the other elements that help them grow, but there is a part of me that is, I don't know if I'm their sun or if I'm their fertilizer. Probably their fertilizer. Something to these to take them to that next level.
So this is beautiful, and I don't want to go too much further because like it takes a while to digest all this. So what we're going to do is just let this sit, and I'll percolate it and work on that collage and get that to you with your with your mantra, and you can print it out, frame it, whatever, hang it on your bathroom mirror. It's meant to just be seen often and said. You can make it a screensaver, just so that you see it and it reminds you of where you're going. And then the scent that we create with the whole sensory process of saying that affirmation while smelling the scent is just like,
how will we do that virtually? How do you do a virtual smell?
I've got a whole process. And
okay.
Yeah, so I'll when we decide on the next meeting date, I'll give you some like little things to help um
I'll wait till you tell me that.
yeah.
I'm fine with waiting for next steps. Do you have your website that talks about this? So I can say I have taken step 1 of the 3-part process with Sheva. Do you have it?
I don't have a website. It was too overwhelming for me to figure out. I do have a Facebook page.
Okay, well, let me use that. So
Yes.
I go to Facebook.
Perfuming Intentions. Let
me find my Facebook. There you are. Come back, Facebook. Come back. It's just, I do want to promote this.
And there's a place on there for reviews. Oh, yes, you know that already.
Well, probably no, I don't. Perfuming with Sheva.
Perfuming Intentions.
Oh. Okay.
And then with Sheva. Or you could put an @ with Sheva.
Oh, come on. Perfuming Intention. Intention.
Z with an S. And I'm gonna hop off.
Thank you for this. Thank you for
welcome. I'm now going to work with Dr. Marty, and I'm helping her kind of help just like you described how you do that. You see the structure and the possibilities of what this platform is, so that she feels really fluent in the structure of it. And
next steps too? Do you need next steps for her with what you're going to do?
So what I get, so what my she's got a call with Ben tomorrow, and my my request was that I just help her really feel like she knows what she's offering in a real deep and profound way. So like, rather than asking Ben what does he want or need, that it's the other way around. I would love for her to be at the point where she can tell Ben, this is what I'm doing, this is what I need, this is how it's going to roll out. And
sharing her dream and being specific so people can help. When you share your dreams and when you share your dreams, people can help you.
Yes.
To be able to articulate them. Okay, I found Perfuming Intentions. I'm going to post something out there. I thank you for this. I'm also exhausted.
Yes.
A good thing, right? Like it's taking. Should I use my intention or save it? Can I use it out there?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say I just had part 1 of a 3-part program with Sheva.
Called the Intentions. I just had the intention session, part 1. And so this intention session is what I'm offering also during the month of June or July, because
for the change, to be the change.
Yes. In what capacity do you want to formulate how you can be the change? And
I think we need to get that out there. Like, you're giving a huge gift.
Yeah.
You may need to, you might say limited spaces available.
For the first 5 people.
Okay. And then if you want to offer more, but you could be, and we want people to feel a sense of urgency without feeling scarcity.
Yes. And then if you're on the wait list.
I love you.
Love you too. Take
care.
I
love that we get to play together. And go party, and I'm going to go ahead and work on this, okay?
Oh, and also, would you be willing to do your 50 desires, even though you feel like you already came up with some? Just
before our next session, whenever that is, they will be done.
Oh, wonderful.
That is never a hard thing for me because I'm a dreamer all the time. So what will be a little bit more interesting is keeping them centered on me and not on
Where you only get 3 about others. Yeah.
my house is beautiful, clean, and organized. I love weighing 175 pounds. I love having monthly massages.
Yay.
Is that the way I should be?
Yes.
Okay. All right. They will be done. And when they're done, I will actually text or email you that they're done.
Yay. Okay.
Know that I'm
Good job.
listening and I'm appreciative of the investment you are pouring in me.
It's my pleasure.
Okay.
Same for others.
Tell Marty I said hi. Bye.
Bye-bye.